Hey everybody, it's been a very busy week. I just did the Dallas International Guitar Festival, 3 days and probably over 35 artists I shot during those 3 days, and it's been really exhausting. So, in this episode, I'm going to tell you about 3 tips from the pit, so stay tuned. All right, we'll see you in a second. Hi, I'm Robert Maxfield. I'm a concert photographer in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, and I've been a concert photographer since probably, I guess, 1977. So I've shot a lot of bands, a lot of big names over the years. And in this episode, we're going to cover 3 tips from the pit. A lot of things that were discussed during the latest Dallas International Guitar Festival, and that's what we'll cover right now. The first one, a friend of mine that I've been shooting with for probably the last couple of years. We were getting ready to photograph in a warehouse at the show, and he asked me. He says, "How are you dealing with with auto ISO?" And I looked at him. And I told him, I don't deal with auto ISO." So the first tip is, we had concerts starting about every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes. One was in a dark black warehouse with truck doors at the end. The other was outside under cloudy conditions or sunny conditions. It depends on what the weather brought you. So what I did is, instead of dealing with auto ISO, I got an itch. What I did is I actually set my camera for the inside part of the venue into the warehouse. I set it at 1600 ISO like I normally do, and it was set up for inside. And then when I went outside with the camera, I didn't change anything. And he was like, "Wow, how come you didn't change anything?" I didn't have to. All I had to do, tip number one, is to increase my shutter speed and my f-stop. That's all I had to do. I didn't have to change anything. So when I walk back and forth between the different concerts, there'd be a concert in the dark area, a concert in the light, a concert in the dark, a concert in the light, back and forth, all day long, for since starting at 10 o'clock in the morning and ending at 11 o'clock Saturday night. I didn't change a single time my ISO settings, or had any of my auto. I didn't have auto ISO at all. That's my first tip. Tip number two, something a little different. Um, Last year they had a warehouse, and they had the stage about 100 yards into the warehouse. It was pitch black, and then there were 2 large truck doors at one end, and they were left wide open, and the sunlight came in, and it mixed with the darkness and the stage lighting, and it caused a little bit of problem. So this year they did something a little different. It was raining, so they kept the truck doors shut, and they had just the stage lighting, which is okay. Wasn't made it a little more stable, but they added the addition of a white rotating spot that was almost at point blank range to the artist, to the singers right on the stage, and that was a little bit of a surprise. Tip number two: how to deal with that. You can wait until the strobe is out of the way, and you can time it, because it would be about every 4 to 5 seconds that the strobe would hit the artist in the face, and you had 4 to 5 seconds to get whatever shot you wanted in that meantime using your spot metering. So you knew that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spot. This is tip number two. Time your shots and look for your shots in between when the light hits and the light doesn't. Be prepared for everything and watch to see where the spotlight is going to be. Now, in addition, we use the spotlight in it as an advantage, because the spotlight, the drummer was stuck in the very back and it was very dark back there. But the spotlight, if you timed it just right, lit the drummer up tremendously. It looked great. Okay, it was hard to get to the drummers this year because there was a lot of junk everywhere, and it was real dark in that back corner. But when that spotlight shined down into the at the perfect time, you could time it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it would take telephone calls all the time. It would take and light up that drummer clear as day. Plus for the rotating spot, excellent stuff. That's tip number 2. Tip number 3. A lot of artists that are singles artists come into a show like a festival, and they use local or they use house band members to perform their act. In fact, it's not unusual. I've seen it a number of times that an artist comes in and says, "I just met the band 30 minutes ago, and we're playing." So that happens quite a bit. But what my point is, instead of playing musical chairs, I used to photograph every member of the band, the drummer, the keyboardist, the bass player, another guitarist, a singer, whatever. I used to photograph them all, and then you sit there and you think, well, they're not part of the band because there really isn't any band. The whole point is the singles artist. All right, so it doesn't do you any good sometimes to photograph a drummer with this band, the same drummer with another band, the same drummer with another band. When you photographed them one time and you're good. So tip number 3 is don't play musical chairs. Don't shoot everybody because you have to, because sometimes in some locations, some of the people you're shooting are the same band members. Another thing is a bonus part of that tip is in some cases band members change all the time. We've got one artist that plays in town, and he's got 4 guitar players that he rotates through. He's got 3 or 4 bass players. He's got 2 keyboard players. He's kept the same drummer every time, but he doesn't keep the same band members, and he still calls it his name band. So it's whoever he's playing with at that time. So it's not like you're photographing the band that has its members that have been its members for 5-10 years that are all the same members. It doesn't work that way. So in some ways in local bands, they change members all the time. Be prepared for that. That's tip number 3. And hey, if you see something you like in this video, press the like button, ring that bell, stay up to date, and please subscribe. Our channel's growing. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you a few pictures of some of the things that we just did. I'll show you a picture with that white strobe light hitting somebody in the face. If I can find it, I'll put it on there because I took one like that just to show what it actually looks like. And that's a new kind of thing for me. But be prepared for everything, handle everything, and do the best work you can. So thanks for watching, and look at some of the photos at the end, and we appreciate you. Have a good week. Bye-bye. Welcome to the first day of the Dallas International Guitar Festival here at Market Hall. And we're getting ready to go inside and take a look at the main areas. This is one of the stage areas, and they're just now setting it up. Notice they haven't got the seating in yet, and they got all the stuff going up on the stage. Bringing it all in.